Dr. Simone Gold, who put together the America's Frontline Doctors, over 17 million views when she stood out in front of the Supreme Court with a group of doctors. They've written a new paper. They have a new plan. They just met last week.
We are super concerned about the vaccine on many levels. Number one, it's an experimental medical trial. That's what's going on. This has nothing to do with if you are comfortable with vaccines or not. This is actually not the issue. I myself have had all the vaccinations that are required by law as an emergency physician, including the annual influenza shot, hepatitis. My children have been vaccinated. This is not about vaccines. This is about saying that millions of Americans should be enrolled in an experimental medical trial. They don't realize that. We must get the word out. If you choose to be part of a medical experimental trial, that's your choice. But there can be no issue of mandating anybody. And by mandating, I'm not talking just the government. I'm talking about airlines or restaurants or Uber drivers mandating that you must be vaccinated to participate fully as an American in our society. You asked me what the call to action is. The petition is the most important. Always refer to this as an experimental agent. You could use the word vaccine, although it works like a therapeutic, not like a vaccine. But you must always have the word experimental. It's either an experimental drug or experimental medication, experimental therapeutic, experimental vaccine, but it must be understood by all people that this is an experimental product and it is your choice whether or not you want to consent to be part of a medical experiment. My guess is if all your life has gone by and you haven't agreed to be part of a medical experiment, you probably didn't want to do that now, because there's well documented the antibody-dependent enhancement pathogenic priming. But for your listeners, the scientists in Europe that were bringing the Pfizer petition to the European equivalent of the FDA, they stood up and they said, don't apply for emergency authorization because there's too many risks. One is the pathogenic priming, where people essentially drop dead when they get exposed to the virus after the vaccine. The other is there's unanswered questions about fertility, and if those concerns are correct, that would risk infertility of indefinite duration, maybe lifelong. We simply don't know. Because of that and other concerns, the scientists in Europe who happen to be ex-Pfizer executives said, whoa, slow the process down. So what we want to share with people, this is an experiment. You don't know if you're going to have an okay reaction or not. It needs to be your choice to participate. Bring it to your unions. Please sign the petition. Thank you.